everyone's opinion is valid, unless it's like the opposite of my opinion. In that case, you're just wrong. Hello everybody, this is Sarah Twilight and welcome to Bookish Productions. Today I'm going to do a video that I think it's quite unique and maybe other people, if you're a booktuber, can do this video too. Maybe they've already done this video. Anyway, we're gonna see. Okay, so today I'm going to be reacting to characters people dislike. Yep, I texted a handful of my friends and asked them like, what characters from TV and books do you dislike and why? And so I got answers and a lot of them are interesting, very cool, great insights. So I will be reading these answers to you guys and giving my own thoughts. And just a disclaimer, everyone's opinion is valid, unless it's like the opposite of my opinion. In that case, you're just wrong. I'm just kidding. Or am I? So let's get started. Okay, my friend texted back. Oh, this is my tablet case. Isn't it cool? Like, look at the cherry blossoms. Anyway, said, Susan from Narnia. Susan from Narnia annoys me. She is completely oblivious to how her attempts at being adult are making her be stupid. Hey, he's right. I mean, Susan, I like Susan. She's always been a cool character. I loved Narnia when I was like younger. I was obsessed with it. I almost had a Narnia birthday party at one point, but that didn't end up working out. I had a superhero birthday party instead. Susan is one of those characters who's bossy, and sometimes she's just one of those like very motherly, but like very like that's very unladylike kind of characters. I mean, she's great. She's totally awesome and stuff, but she's a very big rule follower. She's a lot like me in that aspect. And while she is epic, I love her, she is kind of like someone who is trying to be an adult, but just kind of looks annoying, kind of stupid. She's also, like, as I said before, kind of bossy, especially to like her younger siblings, and she's trying to play mom. Louise is actually really good at writing these characters. In a good way, Okay, so that was number one. Okay, my friend texted back, I dislike Sarah Cobbler from the Wing Feather Saga. She annoying and whiny, and she likes Janner. Honestly, my answer may just not be very rational. Totally rational. And I've only read book 1 of the Wing Feather Saga. I like it, but you know how I am with my TBR, and thanks for the spoilers. She said she was sorry in the text. It's fine. Really. And just so you know, this Sarah is spelled without an H instead of an H like myself, so I cannot identify with this character at all because she don't have that H. This one girl I texted sent back Bella Swan from the Twilight series. I've heard a lot of bad stuff about the Twilight series, but I also know people who really like it. So maybe one day I'm going to read it and just, you know, either dislike it or not like it. Okay, so her reason is both the book and the movie portray her terribly. In the book, she was like an everything terrible magnet, so only bad things happened to her constantly, and like you meant to have conflicts in a book, but like you never got a break from it. And either she had a panic attack over it, or she was perfectly fine with it. Bella is a constant example of how not to write a character, lol. And in the movie, she honestly just didn't have an actress that fitted her. It honestly made it worse and drove me nuts. There you have it. I don't really have an opinion. I mean, all my opinions are from people I've heard talk about Twilight, and some of the stuff kind of sounds messed up. But that's definitely good insight, and thanks for that. Okay, so one of my friends texted back, she doesn't like characters who are either blind to what's going on around them. She doesn't like when they write adult characters who are blind to like their children's like she used an example of Chicken Little's father. I have not watched that movie. And then she was talking about how she hates characters who don't communicate stuff and keep stuff from people. And her example was Flick from Bug's Life. Yeah, you didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming, but it's a great example. And here's what she says. Oh, Flick from Bug's Life fits that category because he didn't tell the circus bugs that they were fighting the grasshoppers and thought they were going with Flick to perform a show. That is not really spoiling something. Honestly, if you're watching this channel and you haven't watched Bug's Life by now, dude, I'm sheltered. I grew up watching Bug's Life. How could you not have watched Bug's Life? You better have a good excuse. Put it in the comments. She's totally right. Flick is an interesting character. He has a very good character arc. He's trying to prove himself. He wants to save his community, and he will do that by any ways necessary. And to be fair, I've not watched this movie in a while, but I don't think Flick remembered, not remembered. I don't think Flick knew that the circus bugs were circus bugs. He thought they were actually warriors. Then he just kept the whole plot from them. And that's kind of bad. And he could have maybe done it better. But then we wouldn't have the story we have. So thanks for that opinion. I like it. Okay, so this next one happens to be a character I sort of dislike. It's kind of weird. Okay, so one of my friends texted back, Fitz from Keeper of the Lost Cities. He's not meant to be a bad character, but I tend to overanalyze, and while he's written really well and he's written as one of Sophie's love interests, he tends to have some anger issues, jump to conclusions, have some entitled brat energy, says he can't date Sophie after she's labeled unmatchable after he said it didn't matter, and overall gets under my skin a bit. But that doesn't mean he's a bad person, and he's a good friend to Sophie. He just has some bad habits, and he acts high and mighty, all while treating people not the best, if that makes any sense. Does make sense. And that's kind of my opinion too. I've only read the first 2 books of Keepers of the Lost City because it is a long series. So I can't really say anything. Yeah, Fitz, at first I didn't really like Fitz. Honestly, I totally shipped Sophie with Dex. For a while, I was kind of upset that she couldn't see that he had a crush on her. But Fitz, at first I didn't like him, but he's grown on me in a way. Yeah, he's grown on me. I like him. He's a good friend, but he does kind of act high and mighty and bratty sometimes. At first, it's like his identity is to be Sophie's crush, but in reality, it's not at all his identity. He has so much more to offer than that. But that's a very good example of a character people tend to not like because Fitz, I thought Fitz was blonde for a while because of the covers of the books, but then I realized that those were either Dex or Keith. And then I have book 3 and I'm like, oh, I forgot that's what he looks like. But I still picture him with blonde hair. It's a curse. Okay, the next one is, this goes so well. I don't like Sophie from Keeper of the Lost Cities. The author created a savior sort of hero, but this savior is now going against their own judgment and making horrible decisions that they don't even agree with. There is a constant miscommunication, and there is only drama that makes me want to keep reading about her. That is bad. And because she is, quote, hero, we're going to let her do things and get away with things because she is the hero. Yeah, Sophie is a total Mary Sue. The thing is, she's a Mary Sue, but I like her. For those of you who don't know what a Mary Sue is, look it up. I don't want to explain it to you. Okay, I'll explain it a little bit. It's a character who is written to be flawless and is so perfect, too perfect. Everything goes right for this character. There are different variations of the Mary Sue. There's the Mary Sue where everything goes wrong and they have a totally tragic past. It just keeps getting more tragic and it's just stupid. The Mary Sue is taking on different forms these days, but I like Sophie. It's nice to read about her, and I've only read the first 2 books, please don't kill me. But, I like her, even though she is a Mary Sue. My friend also went on, this leads into the next character she mentioned she dislikes. From a movie, I dislike characters where everything comes easily for them. Like, bro, not to spoil anything for Star Wars, Rey can do things in her first movie that Luke didn't even touch until his second one. Even with Anakin, Phantom Menace, we just knew that he had potential, and that potential is shown in the second one. In The Force Awakens, she's just like, boom, Force. I literally want to be like him. That's true. Okay, she goes on to say, I used Rey from The Force Awakens. She's in that prison for what? A day? And suddenly she can read minds. So what do I say? Mojo and pulls things with the Force. I'm sorry? You know about this stuff for like 48 hours. At least Luke was learning from a master and Anakin was a flippant child. They established their characters' desires, passions, and fears in the first movie. And because they did, we know how they would handle the Force with Rey. It's like, I guess I'll learn about the Force now and be amazing at it and out-saber a man who's been doing this for over 10 years. She's right, I haven't really thought of it in that way. But the fact that she just all of a sudden can just do these things does kind of bother me. Rey, really cool character. I like her. I say that a lot because I'm a total, I'm trash. She's a really cool character who just can be kind of Mary Sue. She's just like, oh, I can do this all of a sudden. I can do this all of a sudden. I can do this all of a sudden. And in a matter of hours, I don't really think I need to say more. Okay, so Umbridge is just really disgusting. She is petty and messed up and she cares nothing for law, good, or really anything, but her own twisted desires. I really don't know how Rowling managed to make a character I and many other people dislike so strongly. Umbridge isn't even the main bad guy, but we hate her so much more than Voldemort. This is a different friend, by the way. I've only read the first 3 books of Harry Potter. I have almost all the other books, but they are so stinking big, and my dyslexic brain is intimidated by that. So I have not come across Umbridge, but I'm glad I can keep out for her. And I hear she's a pretty hated character because my other friend texted the same thing, that she doesn't like Umbridge, and so she must be bad. Evil witch, I'm probably going to hate her. That's good. We love to hate these characters sometimes, don't we? And then she says, let's see. Both Faramir and Frodo are really admirable and noble characters in the books. They know what's right, and they know that whatever the ring seems to be able to give them, it's false. In the movie, they come through that decision through trying it first. In the meantime, they hurt themselves and others, and especially their relationships with others. In the book, that is played out through other characters. In fact, the movie Faramir is very similar to the Boromir in the books, and these characters show the good that comes out of doing what is right despite what seems like it will help them most in the moment or what you want to do. Okay, so I really dislike what they did with movie version of Faramir from Lord of the Rings, because Faramir is one of my favorite characters and he's awesome. He's different than his brother. He's very more reserved, wise, and what they did to him in the movie, I was so pissed off, man, watching that. I honestly hated that they did that to him. Frodo, I don't really know so much. I actually probably didn't pay attention to him that much in the movie. Sorry. But I'm kind of upset what they did with Faramir. Seriously, they have no excuse. I know the movies were already really long, and maybe if that good Faramir would have taken up more time, but you know what? They should have got... Faramir is an amazing character, and they totally did it wrong. She's so right about this. I hate it. I'm going to go off on a rant here, but if you're a Lortar fan, you know what I'm saying. Oh, she also said Mushu. I didn't see that coming at all. Oh, and the dragon is just stupid, crude, makes a mess of everything, and somehow they come out on top? I like how the live-action version emphasizes telling the truth despite the consequences. The animated one is if you save the country, you're good. I have not watched the live-action Mulan. Nope. I want to. A lot of people have said bad things about it. I'm someone who goes to movies more with an open mind. Unless it's the Artemis Fowl movie, I will probably never watch that because the trailer really misled me. And then I read the first book in the Artemis Fowl series and I was so confused. I mean, I loved the book. That's why I hate the movie. I will never watch this movie. The trailer disgusts me. That's how much I hate it. Also, the Peter Johnson movies, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going open-minded in that, but I do want to watch the live-action Mulan. As for disliking Mushu, Mushu is an amazing character, but I can understand why someone would dislike him, especially in Mulan 2. I bet some of you didn't even know that there is a Mulan 2. Well, newsflash, there is. It's a good one. Totally check it out. But this is a spoiler, but Mushu is trying to kind of sabotage Mulan's relationship with Li Shang. I think that's his name. I forgot. Li Shang? I forgot his name, honestly. That's embarrassing. But he's trying to sabotage the relationship for his own, like, interest. In the end, of course, he repents and has a good, like, character arc. But that is kind of a reason to hate Mushu. So I understand, even though Mushu's awesome. Okay, and one of my other friends said she doesn't like characters who are dumb and super naive. And she used the example of Ariel and Snow White. She didn't go into detail, but characters like these are often given a lot of hate because they are super dumb and naive. And while you're totally allowed to hate characters for that, you got to remember the reasons why they are. Snow White is sort of meant to kind of embody like the innocence of like a pure-hearted princess. And she does so really well with her traditional values and her like childlike behavior and her taking care of the dwarves and being kind to animals and stuff like that, and just the pure nature she has. But you also got to remember she was raised within palace walls by her father. So that's kind of why she's kind of stupid and naive. I mean, she's still part of my childhood though, always will be. As for Ariel is actually not really stupid. I mean, social things and life things, she's kind of dumb. But she's actually really smart. She is someone who collects things and is trying to figure out the world, and that takes smarts, because if you learn to ask questions, you become smart. That's just what if you learn to ask questions, not be afraid of asking questions and getting answers, that gives you points, man. Up where they walk, up where they talk, up where they stay all day in the sun. She is pretty naive though. You also gotta remember how she was raised within a palace, and she's the youngest, the baby of the family. Though her and Eric's relationship is not the best. Like, seriously, just watch it. You're like, you guys can't talk and kiss each other because you're pretty. I know the context and you're supposed to just enjoy it, but don't take advice from it. This is one reason I love fairy tale retellings, because you get to like, the story slows down and you get to be inside the characters' heads. I am so like into fairy tale retellings. I have like a bunch on my, actually no, I don't have too many on my shelf, but I really enjoy listening to them. For Rex on fairy tale retellings, Fairy Tale Adventure series is great. The Andari Chronicles, The Four Kingdoms, and then Beyond the Four Kingdoms, and then Back to the Four Kingdoms, all by Melanie Sellier. Those are amazing books. I love them. They're so cheesy. Also, Melanie Dickerson. I have not really read books, a lot of them by her, but she's really good, and I have some friends who are really into her books. So those are just a few fairy tale retellings, and I love fairy tale retellings. So, let's talk about the character that I'm going to throw in. I don't hate this character, but a lot of y'all seem to hate this character, and I like this character. Maybe it's because I'm trash, but I like this character. And that would be Captain Marvel from the MCU. And a lot of people dislike her because she's just like, I don't know, why do people dislike her? She's kind of a Mary Sue, people say. So tough, not really a character arc. There's a lot of things. People unemotional, can't really attach to her. They just dislike her. I'm blanking on the reasons people dislike her. I know them, I just can't put them into words, if you understand my dilemma. Okay, so here's some backstory on why I like Captain Marvel. That is the second MCU movie I ever saw, because I was really excited to see them, and then I watched Captain America with my family. Then I saw Captain Marvel in theaters with my dad, and it was really cool. I like wrote it down in my diary and everything. So I like Captain Marvel. Her powers are cool, but also her backstory is really interesting, and the dynamic she has, like she's trying to find the truth in the movies about her past, and about like she thinks she's doing the right thing, but she finds out she's not. She has to figure out like why and how that connects to her, and, like the truth. And as for her being like very like unemotional or like being a tough girl character, I actually like that she's kind of tough and she's really cool. She's snarky and stuff, and she seems unemotional. But some people just kind of seem that way. I know sometimes my parents say that I'm hard to read, like I don't like let my emotions show too much, and other people are like that, but that doesn't mean they're cold or unrelatable. Her backstory is pretty interesting. I like the Air Force aspect of it, and I like how she's learned to never give up, to keep rising and rising no matter how many times you fall. And I'm glad she like remembers that through her memory thing that happens in the movie, and how she handles herself. I really like this character. She's totally cool. I like it. And I feel like she gets a lot of hate for no reason. That's my opinion. And as we said before, my opinion is like the almighty opinion. Just kidding. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I used a microphone. It's probably making a weird noise right now. I might use it more. I really enjoyed this video. Making it was cool. It's an interesting concept of a video. If you're a booktuber, totally make this video. Just link back to me, because I want to see what like video you make, like what takes you get. And I might do another video like this in future, because I have lots of friends I have yet to ask this question to. But I hope you all had fun. Come back for more. Please, if you want to see more of Bookish Productions, hit that subscribe button and just comment characters you dislike from television or books, and give me your reasons why. I like to hear from you guys. Who knows, maybe in a future video I'll do this again and I'll use some of your comments. Yeah, that's all I have to really say. Have a great day. Remember, Jesus loves you, and watch good movies and read good books.